If you've been in the world of golf for any amount of time, you've surely seen the famous Tiger Stinger shot. You've probably seen it all over social media, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, at the night ranges. It's just a beautiful ball flight, pierces through the wind, and can be a great shot when you're playing in those windy conditions. In this video, I'm going to give you a few keys to hitting this Stinger shot so that you too can hit that nice piercing ball flight. Hey there, my name is Zach. I'm the founder of the DIYgolfer.com, where my mission is to help you shoot your lowest score ever. And in today's shot type series, we're talking about the low shot, or more famously known as the Stinger. Many would call it the Tiger Stinger. He made it famous by hitting it in all sorts of professional events, just beautiful ball flights. The main thing that we're trying to achieve when we hit the Stinger is that low finish where we keep the club de-lofted through the entire strike. Okay, so that low finish where we're really reaching out and keeping that de-lofted the entire time. And that's what you'll see when Tiger hits that shot. Well, he actually sometimes will do a full finish, but you'll often see guys hitting it like this and keeping that low finish the whole time. Now, I want to give you the honest truth here. I don't feel like that's talked about enough on YouTube. And the honest truth is that if you hit a spinny slice shot, okay, where you're coming way over the top, you're adding a ton of spin and releasing that energy too early, you're probably not going to be able to hit this Stinger shot very well. The golfers that can hit this shot effectively are ones who have that inside to out club path and can kind of keep that closed rather than coming over the top and spinning it. And the reason being is if you got a ton of spin on the ball, this low shot is just going to kind of balloon up in the air, and especially if there's wind, it's going to pretty much defeat the whole purpose of this. But if you can achieve that in to out path, then the keys to this shot are relatively simple. What I'm going to do when I set up to this, and I'll go on the face-on view so that you can see it, is rather than a normal 3-iron where I've got the ball just a couple balls inside the instep of my left foot, I'm going to kind of make my stance a little bit more narrow, and I'm going to shift that ball back in my stance just a little bit. Okay, and what that is going to do is it's going to place the ball earlier in the swing arc. So if the low point is out here and the ball is way back there, I'm going to be hitting that ball with a very steep angle of attack. Now, there's a really important key with this shot that I failed to realize for so many years, and it kept me from hitting this shot effectively. And that is when we set up with that ball way back in our stance, the idea is to not come over the top and smother it like that, because that's going to result in that kind of spinny shot that, you know, goes up in the air and it's not really a stinger. So my key, at least for hitting this Stinger shot, is getting that ball back in the stance, and then what I'm focusing on is hitting the inside quadrant of this golf ball. Okay, and I almost sometimes what I'll do is I'll kind of look a few inches in front of the golf ball straight ahead and imagine the ball is there so that I don't make any modifications to my swing. And then I'm just thinking through that low finish, and that is what helps me hit this Stinger shot. So let me give it a try. I don't know if I've ever been able to get it quite as low and piercing as Tiger has, but we'll do our best on this shot. And then the last key is I'll usually choke up a little bit. It just gives me a little bit more control in the wind. So for this shot, I'm going to generally try to hit a little bit of a draw with the Stinger, because that generally works a little bit better with the wind. So I'm going to aim my club face where I want the ball to start, and then I'm going to take my stance, throw it back in the stance, a little bit narrow, and then counterintuitively, rather than closing the stance like you would a draw, since we got that ball so far back in our stance, I kind of just open it up a little bit so that it's comfortable to me. And then, like I said, I'm going to focus on hitting the inside quadrant of the golf ball in that low finish. So let's give that a try, see what we can do here. So just a quick recap. Number one, and most importantly, got to manage our expectations here. If you hit that high spinny cut or slice shot, this is going to be next to impossible for you to hit. You're going to have to work on coming more from the inside, and I have several drills that you can check out in the description for that. Once you've achieved that, once you are confident that you have that in to out path, Then the setup keys are simple. We're gonna aim the club where we want it to start, okay? We're gonna get a pretty narrow stance, kind of open it up a little bit because that ball's back in our stance, allows us to hit from the inside more. And then we're choking up and then just focusing on hitting the inner quadrant of the golf ball and keeping that club de-lofted through the impact zone and low through the finish. It's a very tough shot, but hopefully those keys will help you out a little bit. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and check out my full shot type glossary on my website. It's in the description. Check that out. Let me know what you think. And until next time, we'll see you later, and hit 'em straight.